It is awfully hot, isn't it? Hey guys, what's up? NGS back again, and it is time to recap, once again, E3 press conference. Today, we're doing Nintendo, which I think many of you already knew we were going to do Nintendo today. But anyway, I digress. So, Nintendo's press conference, E3 2011, and I'm just making this shit up as I go along. Great job. What did I honestly think about the conference? Well, to sum it up, I gotta say, their press conference was 2 straight years in a row the best out of the major 3. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, you get it. I'm not counting Ubisoft or, EA. I'm just counting, the main big 3, the main big corporations. So, I generally felt that Nintendo had the strongest, if you want to say, out of the conferences, mainly because they had the most surprises. They had the most moments where I was generally excited, where I jumped out of my chair just going, yes, yes, I will admit, however, it wasn't their best E3 conference. It certainly wasn't as good as last year's conference, generally because, like Sony and Microsoft, Nintendo followed the trend, why announce new things when we can just show you guys more of the same, They were going into that sort of thing, not as much as Sony and Microsoft did, definitely not as much. They had their surprises, but it wasn't as much of last year. It wasn't a big shocker. And I believe that the reason why I was so, if you want to say, disappointed with it, it was still a pretty damn good conference, is just because last year's conference set the bar so high on surprises that I was expecting this year to be like that, but tenfold, Just because last year we got so many epic announcements of games we didn't even know were in the pipeline, in development. Just Donkey Kong Country Returns, all these other games, it's like, wow. But anyway, on to their current E3 press conference. So they start off with The Legend of Zelda 25th Anniversary Celebration Spectacular-mathon, little Karibo reference. I heard a lot of people complaining, saying that this was the most boring part of the press conference, but it's Zelda. You guys gotta give it up. Zelda's one of the best series of all time, and it's 25th birthday, so I was perfectly fine with that. They had a full orchestral score going on, playing notable themes from the Zelda series, which was nice to listen to, but it just wasn't as epic as I thought it was gonna be. It just felt so, eh. It was still pretty cool, but it just felt eh. And along with that, they announced some music-related paraphernalia for Zelda. There's going to be a soundtrack release for Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3DS, and also the orchestral score is going on tour across the globe, so you guys are going to be able to hear them in your region if they are coming to you, to a theater near you. And you're also going to be able to purchase their soundtrack, which is pretty cool. But along with that, there was no more gameplay of Zelda Skyward Sword, and I know you guys are going to yell, hypocrite, because we've already seen Skyward Sword. Well, you see, the difference with Skyward Sword and games like Uncharted is that we've seen a lot of Uncharted. We've seen way too much of Uncharted. Honestly, I don't think it needed to be in Sony's E3. Like, I'm just going to say it, you guys. I mean, because we've seen it. We already know it's going to be awesome. But Skyward Sword is a game we've barely seen anything about. After that E3 last year, the amount of gameplay has really been lackluster. We had, I think, one more video after that. So it would be cool to see what else they're going to do, because this is a new Zelda game. It's not like Uncharted where we know it's going to flow out. Not saying Uncharted's going to suck. It's going to be an amazing Game of the Year nominee. But I'm just saying, with Zelda Skyward Sword and Uncharted, you want to see more of Zelda, because Zelda we haven't seen much about anyway. So that wasn't there, so that kind of, killed my mood. And then Nintendo moves on to the Nintendo 3DS, another freaking campaign for that, which I'm getting really tired about. They keep talking about the 3DS like it's the second coming of Jesus, which is really annoying. I mean, I don't like how they're copying Sony's arrogance. Like, Sony's like, the PS3 is the only place you can get this sort of content, that sort of annoying vibe. And the 3DS, they've generally just shown things we've already known about. Mario Kart 3DS, we knew about that. Star Fox 3D, knew about that. Super Mario Galaxy 3D, well, not Galaxy, 3D, but we knew about that. Kid Icarus, we knew about that. There was only one new announcement, and that was Luigi's Mansion 2, and that was where I got out of my seat going, fuck yeah, baby! Because Luigi's Mansion 2 is one of my favorite GameCube games. Surprise, surprise, surprise. A lot of people don't seem to like Luigi's Mansion. I really enjoyed it, It was one of the few games I got with my GameCube at launch, and it was a different type of game. It wasn't a Mario game. Well, maybe because Mario's not the main character. I'm pretty sure this isn't what Nintendo envisioned all of Luigi's games to be like, Ghostbusters, but it was still nice to see something change, and I'm pretty sure in the 3DS version they're going to keep to that original core, but they're going to change it up so much, like they're going to make it, wow, spectacular, oh my god, WTF BBQ. So yeah, the 3DS, they didn't really announce anything other than Luigi's Mansion 2, which kind of pissed me off. I mean, yeah, the features for the 3DS are here. They got updated, so the 3DS is actually living up to the hype. But I just wanted to see more announcements for the 3DS, like more new features come to the 3DS, like Netflix. When the hell is that coming out? I want to see more games announced for the 3DS. I just wanted to see more new stuff, not things we've already seen. I mean, it was pretty freaking sweet to hear like additions to Star Fox and Kid Icarus, like the multiplayer features that they're getting. Star Fox is going to have split screen multiplayer, and you're gonna have video calling recognition, like when you kill someone you can go like that and then they'll see you. I think that's pretty freaking awesome. That is gonna redefine split screen gaming. You know, it's gonna make it so much more fun nowadays. And Kid Icarus Uprising's multiplayer does look pretty cool. You know, it reminds me a lot of Birth by Sleep, and it's like Ninja Gaiden, but in Kid Icarus. That's what I think. And yeah, so the 3DS portion of it, I was pretty disappointed. It's more of the same, you know, nothing that amazing. And then we move on to the bulk of the Nintendo's entire conference, Project Cafe, now given a proper title, the Wii U. What was going through somebody's mind when they came up with that name? That is freaking worse than the PlayStation Vita. And I don't want to hear any arguments, you guys. Vita means life, Neo. It makes sense. No. Why? I mean, when the Wii came out, I was probably only one person who didn't find the name Wii weird. But the Wii U? It doesn't make sense. It makes it sound like it's just an add-on to the Wii. But it's not just an add-on to the Wii. It's so much more, and I'm not being sarcastic. But for any guys who have been wondering, what is the Wii U? Is it a new controller? Is it a new console? What the hell is it? The answer to that is, it's both, you guys. Because the Wii U is both a system and it's an add-on controller for the Wii. I believe so. You know, it might change later on, but from what they demoed at E3, it looks pretty phenomenal, you guys. Essentially, what it is, it's a tablet. Like, if I want to give a relative size, it's like take the cover of any game case. Buy this game right now. It's like right about there. It's like a tablet, but you've got your standard buttons on it. You guys by now have probably seen pictures of it already. And the coolest thing about it is that the things it can do, because not only is it another controller that can work in conjunction with the Wii, but the things it does. Like, for example, let's just say you're in your room, you're playing on the big screen. Let's say your mom has to come in or your sister has to come in saying, "Oh, I gotta watch the news. Oh, I gotta see what the hell's going on with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He divorced his wife. Why the hell should I care?" Okay, you say, okay. So you go out and you can still continue your game on the Wii U. No downgrade to graphics, nothing. And that is a pretty cool feature. And along with that, you've got the ability to play games specifically on the Wii U, like they showed them playing, like I believe it was like Go or something, I don't know exactly, but they were playing games on that. It's a touchscreen, of course, 6.2 inches, so you can do some things from there. And it doubles as both its own separate game console, actually triples its own separate game console, its own separate thing, and also an add-on for the Wii. Like they demoed that you can use this in conjunction with other Wii games like Wii Fit. You can use the balance board and you don't even need the TV, you can just look at it and read it. So from that stance, it looks pretty innovative, it looks pretty amazing. You know, I was generally surprised with that. At first I was just like, what the hell, is this just another Nintendo Zapper controller? You know, because the life expectancy of the Nintendo peripherals is really short. I mean, after like 1 or 2 games, it's like, never hear from them again. It's like, Nintendo, what are you gonna do with the Zapper? What the hell's a Zapper? And the perfect shot and stuff. So, you know, it's pretty cool. I hope this peripheral doesn't die soon. But I think the coolest thing about it is not how it applies to the Wii, but what's going to happen with its games. And fanboys, you guys got to give it up. Finally, you have nothing to complain about. It's got to be full HD 1080p. I don't think Nintendo stressed it enough than they did in this conference. They said it's going to be full, beautiful graphics. And along with that, the games that is coming out for it, the third-party support, once again, just blows you out of your seats. So here's just a small list of the games that have been confirmed by them. Darksiders 2, Batman Arkham City, Ninja Gaiden 3. Think about that. And EA is teasing Battlefield 3 coming to the Wii U so much. There are so many more games coming out for the system. We could very well see games along the lines that we've seen before on PS3 and 360 now jump over to the Wii U. Very possible we could see a port of Mass Effect 3 come to the Wii U. We could see so much other things, you guys. The possibilities for this are endless, you know, and it's going to be interesting to see how it works in Junction, because you could play your Wii U, you can play your game, like let's say Battlefield 3 on the screen, or you can play it on the big screen and maybe the touchscreen part will do like some other thing, like the DS did. So it's intriguing to see how they're going to handle that. But one of the problems that I have to stress is that while there was a shitload of third-party support, I want to see a lot of first-party support as well. Because first-party has always been a standard for Nintendo. They've always raised the bar for their first-party games. And we've seen that on the DS and on the Wii especially. The Wii especially, first party was its biggest draw. You know, you buy just for the first party games like Zelda, Mario, Red Steel, etc., etc. So I don't want the system to rely too heavily on third party support, because I want to see a lot of first party in there. They did say a new Zelda is coming to it, a Zelda HD, so we are getting both Skyward Sword and a brand new Zelda game in its own world. So that's going to be pretty freaking sweet. Can't wait for that. And they got a lot of tech demos coming for it that they showed. New Super Mario Bros. Whatever. And, you know, such other tech demos and stuff that shows off what it can do. And, yeah, that's essentially the Wii U in a nutshell. And now I think we're going to move on to probably the biggest shocker of the entire press conference. The thing that had me jumping off the ceiling. Super Smash Bros. 4. On both 3DS and Wii U. Just gotta leave you guys with that. Because if I do, I'll freaking jump around the ceiling again. But anyway, you guys, yeah, that was my Nintendo E3 2011 wrap-up. Overall, I gotta say, it was pretty good. You know, it wasn't as good as last year's. No way it was as good as last year's. They're really just going on lines of showing us stuff that we've already seen before, you know? So that's why it wasn't a big shocker. Sure, it was great to see announcements for Luigi's Mansion 2, Smash Bros, of course, and the Wii U. But it felt that they really abandoned the original Wii and the DS. You know, even though there's still games coming out for it, it's like, where were these systems? You know, these are Nintendo's products. I don't want them to abandon them just for shinier technology. I mean, because we still got Skyward Sword coming out. You know, don't make Skyward Sword this last saving grace of the Wii and then move on to the Wii U. You know, you gotta support it, Nintendo. You got it. Even though you love the Wii U so much, but you gotta support it, you know? So, if I had to wrap it up, first place would be Nintendo. They were good, just not as good as last year, but still entertaining. Second place was Sony's. They had good content, but it's just the pacing and the presentation was kind of off. And third place, of course, was Micro shit. It really was shit. I mean, nothing good came out of that conference, but Minecraft. Yeah. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Till my next E3 related video, I'm GS signing out, and I'll catch you guys later. I always catch you guys later.